Right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on once again with the second half of our show now with 3 2-minute rounds of boxing. Would you welcome first into the red corner, representing Spartans, Dan Proudly. And would you welcome his opponent into the blue corner, representing Nemesis, OLEWOLE. 3 2-minute rounds of boxing action, Proudly in the red, OLEWOLE in the blue.
Next up, we have 3 2-minute rounds of boxing action for you. Dan Proudly from the Spartans in the red corner, OLEWOLE from the Nemesis Gym in the blue.
OLEWOLE looking extremely focused here, and I love the playful intensity of Proudly. This should be another excellent matchup here tonight for the fans in London.
That's right, and they meet in the middle here, and fast hands, as you can see from both men, and willing to plant their feet early and trade. Not much range finding here, Chris.
And no hesitation either to go toe-to-toe.
That's right, and you saw Proudly look for the big right uppercut there.
The right cross finding its mark though. Olu using a lot of head movement to try to get some evasive maneuvers and reconstitute himself to return fire.
Well, as you said, Dan Proudly was very relaxed there, and that's showing in very relaxed and fast combinations, but Olu comes back with his own hard right hands and a real exchange there. For what is bragging rights in this first round, neither man wanted to give ground there, so they kept trading punches.
And right now, it seems to me Olu has gotten a little bit more comfortable, weathered the early storm from Proudly with the stiff jab. Proudly doing a wise tactic there, getting behind that left hand. But then Olu comes in and gives him a taste of his own medicine.
Well, the thing you can see here, Chris, which is fascinating, both men have really planted their feet early. And we've seen moments already in this opening round where they're open-mouthed and breathing deeply. They've both gone for broke here in the first, planted their feet, solid shots, and I think stamina and resilience will play a huge part as this bout progresses.
Olu getting the left hand situated as well. I like the jab there. Especially the way he throws it out there twice, sometimes 3 times in a row.
And as you said, the head movement very noticeable, and it was why his right just landed when Dan Proudly's just missed a few seconds ago. And these are key factors, but a very fast-paced opening round, Chris.
So, we sit here now. It seemed to me Olu had some difficulty with the Proudly offensive from the get-go. But then he gathered his wits and he returned fire in what was definitely a competitive round.
That's right. Dan Proudly came straight out from the block, straight into it, and was throwing heavy punches. Then, as you said, Olu seemed to regroup, recover, and come back at him. And then his own right hand seemed to be working very effectively. But the big thing for me here is about 3/4 of the way through the round, they took a little step back and were both breathing deeply to get that breath back. And for me, I think, Chris, this second round will be about determination, stamina, and how much is left in the tank.
Also, maybe being able to get that jab just a little bit more extension on it. We saw them punching longer as the rounds went on, as the round went on. And so I think that could be also a factor of who's able to exploit that extra little micro millimeters, perhaps, of distance. We'll find out round 2 on tap.
What fascinates me here, Chris, is we saw in round 1, in the middle of it, about literally halfway through, they both stood there and didn't want to move and exchange. And just like now, it really is to try and assert that authority when everything else is pretty even. And they're doing it again now. Dan Proudly came out, all guns blazing, and you can see the response that Olu has come up with. These two are trying to assert mental authority here.
It's been definitely a territorial performance would be the way I would suggest. Sort of like your pet on their favorite toy. They never want to let it go. And you can see that Proudly with the uppercut. Wow!
The two right hands before that were taken cleanly. It was the switch to the uppercut, and Olu is still trying to recover now. He's saying he's fine, but I'm telling you he's not. And this could be over in this round, because that was a superb shot there, and he's looking to close the gap and work the body, but while he's doing these hooks, he is open to the same punch once more.
Olu looking for the jab, but he's got to get those hands up and make sure he does not move his head predictably.
Well, as I said, the problem for him is when he starts to hook himself to the body, it's that uppercut that comes through the channel while his chin is wide open.
And Olu, certainly a very talented boxer, but it's a predictable pattern that can get you into trouble.
Well, the problem here is he's exchanging well, but in those exchanges, as he is exchanging, the uppercut is then coming through when he's wide open. And that right hand is beginning to land a lot more for Dan Proudly here in the second.
Proudly with the left hook, again finds it mark. Wobble there from Olu. Olu eats a right. How is that man still standing?
He's boxing on instinct, Chris. His legs have gone, and his mind is telling him to still come forward. That territorial war you're talking about, he's still trying to fight, even though his brain's telling him you need to tuck up. He's taking a lot of punishment now.
And it is the end of another thrilling round. Man, just when we thought it could not get any more exciting, Mr. Malcolm Martin, that was manic.
The key to that, Chris, was those two right hands that came over the top, and then he switched it to the uppercut. From that point on, everything swung in Dan's favor. Now for Olu, his brain was still telling him to fight the same way. Come forward, stake your claim to the territory. His legs and his body were telling him something different. So what happened was, rather than take a step back and regroup, he went in and took more punishment. As to his chin and his heart, we saw there clearly. But that brain needed to switch down and go into defensive mode because he played into Dan's hands.
I wonder if Proudly really realized how much he'd had him hurt, because Proudly looked pretty tired there, even in the clinch. I would have let go and then really gone for the finish, but both fighters will have had a chance to sort of recapitulate what's gone down, make some technical adjustments, and we should be set for a fast-paced round 3.
For me, this third round is all about how much Olu has recovered from that, and how much, as you said, Dan realized that he has the power to really hurt him. Because Olu, as I said, his instincts are all the same: come forward and throw leather. And he's actually at his most vulnerable when, as gum shields come out, he's actually at his most vulnerable when he's throwing punches. But look how game he is. This gum shield's out and he doesn't even realize it, and he's throwing heavy punches.
It's a good round, though, for Olu so far. Depending on how the first was scored.
There's the counts in the second, though, Chris. That big count in the second will really work against him in a 3-round fight. That's like being 2 rounds down with that 8 count. But the way he came back here in the third, as I said, his style is to come forward and throw leather. He knows nothing else. And a stiff jab got Dan Proudly's respect there straight away. And if he gets a count in this round, this could be really interesting.
Proudly looking for the right, but he's got to set it up. He has got to maintain what won him those exchanges.
Well, listen to the crowd now as OLEWOLE really comes back strongly, and if he gets the count in this round, Chris, anything can happen now. He's certainly going for it.
And it's the pedal to the metal for Olu.
And this time it's Proudly's gum shield as Olu comes in.
As Olu charges forward like a madman.
Well, this could turn it on its head, Chris. He hasn't got the count yet, but he is in total control of this round.
Oh, and possibly a breathing opportunity there for Proudly. He was at the mercy of the Olu offensive, but Proudly comes in, clinches up, holds on. Proudly is exhausted. Olu's tired, but you think he's the fresher of the two at this point.
He's got to go forward again. He's still losing this despite everything. A big uppercut attempt again from Proudly. And OLEWOLE has really got to come forward again.
And it's the uppercut from Proudly. Wow.
But OLEWOLE has got to the stage now where, you know, when you've taken so much punishment it can't get worse. He's gone through that barrier. Those uppercuts didn't have the same effect. It's an awful thing to see sometimes, because I've seen in professional boxing guys go on when they've absorbed it. There's no more pain, as it were. And he's reached that stage now. He's just constantly coming forward again.
And as both men push the physical boundaries and test each other to the limit, proudly maybe surviving the final episode there in the third, but wow. I'm speechless, Mr. Malcolm.
Oh, incredible bout, Chris, for all the right reasons, and it was so well done from both men. I've got that 2-1 to Proudly on my unofficial scorecard, but let's take nothing away from both men. They just fought till exhaustion. They say leave it all in the ring. These two showed you what that term meant.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to come back from the break. 3 non-stop rounds of action. 2 warriors in the ring, please. Let's hear it for them both. But our judges do have a unanimous decision in favour of the red corner, Dan Proudly.